Hello and welcome to my new tutorial series, Learning JavaScript for Beginners. Now in this tutorial series, we'll be learning how to code in JavaScript. Now JavaScript is the language of the web. It's used everywhere. Almost every website that you open up runs JavaScript. So what you'll learn in this tutorial series will be very useful if you want to learn to code websites. So now to get started, we're going to go to Google and search VSCode. And once you search that, if you hit enter here, click on the first link. It says code.visualstudio.com. And then you'll be taken to this page. Now, if you're on Windows, go ahead and download for Windows. Otherwise, download for your respective operating system, whether you're on Mac or Linux. And then once you click on here, it'll open up this installer here. And once that's finished, go ahead and run it and install VS Code. Now, since I already have it installed, I'm not going to run it myself, but you can go ahead and follow that. And if you're on Windows, the next thing you'll want to do is install WSL. Now, to do this, you want to search installing WSL into Google, and you will get this right here. This is a guide. Now, quick note, if you're not on Windows, if you're on Mac or Linux, I recommend checking out a different tutorial. In fact, I'll link to a tutorial in the description on how to install VS Code, which is what we're doing. So to follow this tutorial in Windows, we want to go ahead and come here, and you're given a command here. It says open Powershell as administrator and run. So how you're going to do that is you come here and you type POW Windows PowerShell run as administrator and then run. And it takes a second to boot up. And then once it is running, you can go ahead and copy this command here. And then you open your PowerShell and you paste it, or you paste the command as given here and run it, and then you come to this next step. WSL2, it doesn't matter whether you run WSL1 or 2, that's up to you. Then you run this command as well, you paste it in here, and then you can run this if you're running WSL2, and then finally in Windows you want to go ahead and go to the Microsoft Store after following all these other steps. And then I recommend installing Ubuntu Linux, which is what I'm running on here. Essentially what you're doing is you're actually installing Linux on Windows, and Linux is a powerful tool used for all kinds of programming, including web programming. So once you have that all installed, you can go ahead and run VS Code, and it'll look something like this. You'll open to a blank empty folder, and then what you're going to want to do to be able to get started with web programming is you want to click on this button and then search WSL. You'll see this remote WSL extension like this. It'll look like there will be a green button like here, and you go ahead and click install. And then you'll be left with pretty much this, just the blank VS Code screen, and this is where we want to be. Now, in the following tutorials, I'll be showing you actually how to write your code. This video is all about installing your tools.